Donald Trump just gave a disastrous press conference in Qatar. He began by talking about Pete Buttigieg riding bicycles, and Pete Buttigieg riding bicycles really makes Donald Trump upset. And that was something that Donald Trump wanted to share with the Qataris. Here, play this clip.
Tree comes down also, by the way. It's so intense. I mean, you see these trees being knocked down like they're being sawed down by a top-of-the-line timberman, like you know who? Sean Duffy. Do you know that Sean Duffy, the head of the transportation department, who's working right now on the airports and getting a system because Biden didn't do a thing for 4 years, and Pete Buttigieg was the head, and he goes bicycling to work. He takes a bicycle to work. Can you believe he's running the biggest air system in the world, and he takes a bicycle to work? And they say he's going to run for president. I don't see it. Who knows, right? But I don't see it. But when I look at what they've done, it's so horrible what they've done. And the work they did do, they wasted billions of dollars. They're trying to hook up air systems to copper, and they tried to hook up copper to glass, and the glass doesn't work with the copper. And they had 30,000 different contractors doing 30,000 jobs. And when they put it all together, they spent billions of dollars. It didn't even come close to working. And we're going to be giving out a brand new system. It's very important. We'll have the best system, and we think we know who that system is, but we have a lot of...
Really, Donald, that's what you're thinking about? While you're at Lusail Palace in Qatar, begging them for $400 million gold-plated jets, you've got Pete Buttigieg on your mind. You know what else he has on his mind? So he's talking about how drones are being used in the war when Russia unlawfully invaded Ukraine, and how it shoots down trees. And then he says Sean Duffy climbs trees. His transportation secretary loves climbing trees. Here, play this clip.
When you look at what's happening with Russia and Ukraine, the drone is killing tremendous numbers of people. You hide behind a tree and the drone comes down and it circles you with fire. You don't have a chance. The tree comes down also, by the way. It's so intense. I mean, you see these trees being knocked down like they're being sawed down by a top-of-the-line timberman, like you know who? Sean Duffy. Do you know that Sean Duffy, the head of the transportation department, who's working right now on the airports and getting a system because Biden didn't do a thing for 4 years? And
So then he continues to talk about Sean Duffy climbing trees. And he goes, did you know Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is a tree climber? Did you know he climbs the trees? Here, play this clip.
We're going to be giving that out pretty soon. But what people don't know about Sean, because I mentioned lumberjacks, that Sean, you probably didn't know this. That I'm not talking about this Sean. This Sean, no, this is a different Sean. Sean Duffy, the head of transportation. He's a great Sean, though, I have to tell you. But Sean Duffy was the world champion for 5 years, climbing trees and down, up and down, world champion. So that's what you call a serious lumberjack. And he's doing a fantastic job too, a really respected guy and a terrific guy. And I mentioned the champion because when somebody's the champion, he's the world champion for a long time. He came down, when you come down those trees, coming down at a rapid, he said that started getting you back. You will often break your back. You miss a shot and you're coming down a lot faster than the human body was meant to come down. But he's doing a fantastic job at transportation. But this has been a very historic trip. I watched...
This is what you're saying in Qatar? You're talking about Sean Duffy climbing trees? Then Donald Trump, again, blames former President Biden for all of the issues we're having with our air traffic safety system. I don't know, maybe it's the fact that y'all fired people at the FAA, that Elon Musk and you ripped apart our government agencies. Like, Donald, you do realize that unfortunately you were in office from 2016 to 2020, and you would also be responsible for this. Also, you know, there were no issues under former President Biden like this. They're all happening now with your incompetent tree climbers. Here, play this clip.
Had 30,000 different contractors doing 30,000 jobs. And when they put it all together, they spent billions of dollars. It didn't even come close to working. And we're going to be giving out a brand new system. It's very important. we'll have the best system, and we think we know who that system is. But we have a lot of bidding. But we want one check. We want a unified system. We don't have 5,000 contractors in all different places, some digging ditches and some not doing ditches because they want to go by satellite. The satellite seems to be the way to go.
Next, Donald Trump praises the leader of Syria who offered Trump to build a Trump Tower in Damascus. And then he goes on to talk about he's a strong person, not a weak person. It's just a bunch of blabbering rubbish. Play this clip.
And I met the new leader of the country, and he's got a strong past. I'll be very nice. He's got a strong past, but I liked him a lot. I think he'll be a great representative, and we'll see. You're going to have a strong past to put that one around. You cannot be a weak person. If you're a weak person, we would just be wasting time. So he's a strong guy, and I thought he was good, and let's see what happens. But we're going to give him a fighting chance by taking off the sanctions. So
more of Trump talking about Syria. Let's play it.
Been a big fight. And the other, of course, is Syria. We took out the sanctions, and that's been, I didn't even realize it's been many, many years that they've had sanctions. And as you know, there was a very big change at the top. And I thought that we have to give them a chance. They really have no chance with the sanctions. They were very biting. They were top of the line. Nobody could even deal with them. You couldn't make a phone call to Syria. So we did that. And
and one of the things that makes Trump such a vile piece of trash and just an overall horrible, just person and leader, but just a horrible person. He's there in the Middle East and he spends all of his time not setting forth a vision of what to do, right? That's what leaders do. Here's the plan. Here's what's going to happen. Here's how I want to strengthen our relationship. He just goes there and whines about Biden. Oh, Biden was bad. Biden was bad. Oh, I'm sorry he was so bad. First off, he wasn't. He didn't need to beg Qatar for $400 million jets. He didn't have to go around to the Middle East and beg. He understood who America's true allies were in NATO. Unlike you, who's now trying to cancel the United States from going to the G20. But here he is right here. Just listen to what Trump says. Let's play it.
We're doing something very special, but it's a special country. We were losing the Middle East because the past administration didn't handle the relationship properly, didn't show the kind of respect that they deserve. And me, I have a lot of respect and I have a lot of liking. I like the Crown Prince a lot. I've known him a long time in Saudi Arabia, and the Emir is fantastic. And we're going to another country in a little while, the UAE, a fantastic man, fantastic leader. And they have great leadership talents in this part of the world, and that's why they're doing so well.
Then Donald Trump starts talking about military equipment, and it gets really bad really quickly. Here he starts, and because he pretends he knows what he's talking about. And so you'll see me showing you clips where he talks about submarines and F-35s and how many engines he thinks should be in there. And he doesn't like stealth. He goes, I'm not a stealth fan. But anyway, here he is talking about submarines, and he tries to explain it. He has no clue what he's talking about. Play the clip.
Full weapon, as you say. We're also doing very heavy on submarines. We have a lead on submarines that I don't think, unless you have a really, really stupid group of people, including the president, I don't think anybody can catch us on submarines. We have our submarine, in particular, the late model. We're 15 years advanced on the submarine. Nobody can even come close. It can stay underwater for 30 years. Think of it. The only reason it has to come up is for food. It doesn't need water because they have their system of water, which is they can stay forever. The only reason it has to come up is for food. Can you imagine? It could stay underwater for years, going at fast speeds, to very fast speeds, but has to come up once every couple of months for food. There's something about that. I don't know if we're going to be able to solve that problem, but hopefully it's not going to be a problem we have to worry about. But the submarine, we are so far advanced in the submarine. So we're very...
This time of year, it's time to shake off those winter blues and get ready for a fresh start, and that includes your hair. I've been using the MeidasTouch Elite, and I've got to say I was skeptical at first, but this thing is legit. I pop it on when I'm watching TV or answering emails, completely hands-free, super comfortable, and honestly, kind of relaxing. Over time, I started noticing less shedding and more regrowth, especially around my temples where I noticed a little bit of thinning. I've tried other LED devices before, but none of them felt this effortless or gave me these kinds of results. The MeidasTouch Elite is in a league of its own with 282 lasers and LEDs that deliver light therapy right to your scalp. It's like a spa day for your hair follicles. So give yourself the gift of hair confidence this spring. For a limited time only, our listeners get $625 off their MeidasTouch Elite when you use code Meidas at MeidasTouchLaser.com. That's $625 off your MeidasTouch Elite at MeidasTouchLaser.com with promo code Meidas. MEIDAS. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Hair loss is frustrating. You don't have to fight it alone. Thanks to MeidasTouch.
Here, an addled, cognitively declining Donald Trump says America previously had no spirit. Let's play it.
But the police force and the firefighters, we're having a very hard time getting people to become policemen like we had never had before. That was 6 months ago, Biden, because the country had no spirit. It was like just had no heart. It was a dead heart. Now we have the liveliest heart you've ever seen. So I just think it's such a great contrast to think 6 months ago you couldn't get, and now we're setting records. Who would think?
Here he is saying that he basically threatened Tim Cook for moving Apple business to India to avoid the China tariffs. Play this clip.
And we have Apple, as you know, is coming in. And I had a little problem with Tim Cook yesterday. I said to him, Tim, you're my friend. I treated you very good. You're coming in with $500 billion, but now I hear you're building all over India. I don't want you building in India. You can build in India if you want to take care of India, because India is one of the highest tariff nations in the world. It's very hard to sell into India. And they've offered us a deal where basically they're willing to literally charge us no tariff. So we go from the highest tariff, you couldn't do business in India. We're not even a top 30 in India because the tariff is so high, to a point where they have actually told us, I assume you too, Scott, you were working on that also, that there will be no tariff, right? Would you say that's a difference? They're the highest, and now they're saying no tariff. But I said to Tim, Tim, look, we've treated you really good. We put up with all the plants that you built in China for years. Now you got to build us. We're not interested in you building in India. India can take care of themselves. They're doing very well. We want you to build here, and they're going to.
Okay, so now here's where he talks about the F-35s. Let me show you this clip.
Great display. So we're going to see that. But one of the things for the people that are interested in the military that I asked to look into, the F-35, we're doing an upgrade, a simple upgrade, but we're also doing an F-55. I'm going to call it an F-55. And that's going to be a substantial upgrade, but it's going to be also with two engines, because the F-35 has a single engine. I don't like single engines. Even this man, he's the best in the world at engines. But on occasion, I know you won't admit this, if an engine goes out, it's nice to have 2, 3, or 4. That's why I like the 747. It's got 4. And but today they're getting very big, and it's a little more cost saving to have 2 very, very big ones. But no matter how good, they tell me, Larry, the engine will never go out. Well, I think it goes out.
Donald Trump admits that Putin will not be going to Turkey to negotiate with Zelensky, even though Zelensky was there to negotiate with Putin. And then Trump says it's Putin's not going because Trump's not going, but really it was Putin who said he wasn't going first. But you said there was going to be peace in Ukraine in 24 hours, Donald. Here, play this clip.
Jennifer, go ahead.
Mr. President, no Putin speech in Turkey? No Putin in Turkey? Are you disappointed by that?
No, I didn't anticipate. I actually said, why would he go if I'm not going? Because I wasn't going to go. I wasn't planning to go. I would go, but I wasn't planning to go. And I said, I don't think he's going to go if I don't go. And that's turned out to be right. But we have people there. Marco, as you know, is doing a fantastic job. Marco's there, Secretary of State, and we have people there. But I didn't think it was possible for Putin to go if I'm not there. Jennifer?
Do you have an update, sir, on this?
Here, Donald Trump says that he's not a big believer in stealth. Let's play it.
Made. And so I want to do that. And sometimes, stealth. They do stealth. I'm not a huge believer in stealth because stealth is basically a lot of it's the design and the shape. And, I'm sure you maybe think, but also if that's the case, they're going to figure it out pretty fast, I think. So you're going to design an ugly plane for stealth reasons. And then 6 months later, they're going to figure out this. And then you're stuck with a plane. Now we're doing a super F-22 and we're going to be going with it pretty quickly. And then
Here Donald Trump talks about how Howard Lutnick wants Trump to start a sovereign wealth fund, but Trump may start a sovereign wealth fund. He's just waiting. Play this clip.
Do you have an update, sir, on the sovereign wealth fund, your proposal for the sovereign wealth fund?
that we're planning on doing?
Yeah.
Well, look, Howard likes the idea. I'm less. I want to really make a lot of money, pay off debt, and just get it. And then you do it fund. These people have no debt. It's nice to have a fund. I said to Howard, we're a little early because we have debt, and really, it sounds like a lot, but relative to the kind of income and everything that we have, it's not really that much. But it's still a lot, and I'd rather pay the debt off and then do the fund after the debt's paid off. And to me, the fund is just pay off debt.
And finally, Donald Trump claims that we're no longer losing $1 trillion from China because he put tariffs on China for a month and then withdrew them. Play the clip.
Fund is just pay off debt. We're making a lot of money. We had a situation 6 months ago. We were losing $5 billion a day on trade. Now we're making money on trade. Don't forget, we were losing $1 trillion to China. So we essentially went cold turkey with China for a period of a month. Therefore, we weren't losing $1 trillion. I think that's pretty simple, Scott, right? Scott did a great job over there. They made a deal. They have great relationships with China.
You could judge that mess for yourself, but that was his speech in Qatar. Oh, yeah. And then just to add insult to injury, this was from earlier where it's just so obvious that, yes, Donald, everybody is laughing at you. A total laughing stock. Let's play it.
And the job you've done is second to none. You look at this, it's so beautiful. As a construction person, I'm seeing perfect marble. This is what they call perfecto. And just a great job you've done. And what a beautiful place. And we appreciate those camels. I haven't seen camels like that in a long time. And that was some greeting. We appreciate it very much.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.